Hey, we can't wait for the brothers and sisters to come down. Brother had asked a question about angels, cherubim, archangels. So we was going over that. I read the definition in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and it just talks a little bit about them and biblical usage. So the brother's going to go ahead and give the definition of cherubim. And what did you say? You had the Oxford Language Dictionary?
I have the Britannica and Oxford.
Are they similar?
They say similar things, but they both have distinctions as well.
Go ahead and read the Oxford.
Oxford Dictionary, cherub, a winged angelic being described in biblical tradition as attendant on God. It is represented in ancient Middle Eastern art as a lion or bull with eagle's wings in a human face, and regarded in traditional Christian angelology as an angel of the second highest order of the ninefold celestial hierarchy.
Here's what's funny about that, right? The brother asked that they have a hierarchy right here in an extra biblical text, Oxford Dictionary. It says they do have a hierarchy and they second. Now, how accurate that is, I don't know. I have to ask the general. I'm gonna just take it because even when I read it in the Zondervan, right? It says, to sum it up, the cherubim are the living chariot or carriers of God when appearing to men. They are heavenly creatures, servants of God in theophany and judgment, appearing in winged human animal form with the faces of a lion, ox, man, and eagle. They are significant in prophecy and in the apocalypse. Their service is rendered immediately to God. In Ezekiel's new temple and the heavenly sanctuary, the Hebrews and Revelations, they are no longer needed, for the redeemed themselves stand in the presence of the living cherub. All right, so that's what Zondervan Bible Dictionary says. We know that Zondervan is not in the truth, but we use the dictionary because it's the closest thing we can get to what was actually meant by the words that was used in the scriptures. All right, go ahead.
Slide. You want me to read the Britannica?
If you feel like it's needed, yeah, you can go ahead and bring it up.
Because I was running across something that just back up what you were saying about the four creatures.
Go ahead.
It was saying that the living creatures called cherubims in chapter 10 of Ezekiel are throne attendants, representing God's creation. Man, who is God's ordained ruler of creation, the lion, which is the strongest of the wild beasts, ox, the most powerful of the domesticated animals, and eagles, the mightiest of the birds.
So they just depict it in that manner, but however, they are not lions and ox and all of that. But people do worship those animals based on how they are, you know, like a lion being the king of the jungle, bear, so on and so forth. And I think that's a lot about what Paul was saying, what he was saying in Colossians 1:16. Don't let nobody get you to worshiping angels and things like that. So I'm gonna leave that right there. If you have any other questions on it, you know what I'm saying, feel free that you can ask that question. As long as it's pertaining to angels, cherubim, so on and so forth. I don't know if that answered your question or not. That's why I said that.
Slide. No, I just, if you could just give me the Zondervan H37 or whatever, of several of them.
That would be a concordance if you're giving me that. Spell that word.
SERAPHIMS.
And what scripture does come from?
It's only mentioned in the scriptures one time, and it's
You
Isaiah.
said SEIAS?
No, SERAPHIMS.
SERAPHIM. Seraphim. Called seraph, right? Seraphim. being the Hebrew plural, they were celestial beings whom Isaiah, when he was called to the prophetic ministry, saw standing before the enthroned Lord. This is the only mention of these creatures in the Bible. The word seraphim means burning ones. The same word is used to describe the snakes in the wilderness. They gives Numbers 21:6, Deuteronomy 8:15, Isaiah 14:29 and 30:6. They belong to an order of unearthly beings attending the throne of God. Isaiah describes them as standing upright with 3 pairs of wings and human hands, faces, and voices. It says, see also fire. So where did you get this from? This was Isaiah what?
6:2.
Yeah, that's what it got in here. Let's go there real quick. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 2. Go ahead and read verse 1.
In the year, Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple.
Right. So this is the vision that Isaiah is saying. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly.
All right, so that H8314 is what you asked me to look up. Serpent, fiery serpent, poisonous serpent, burning effects of poison, seraphim, majestic beings with 6 wings, human hands, or voices in attendance upon God. That's all it's going to give you. Now, you can envision that however you want. Right now, it's telling you it has 6 wings, 2 over his face like this, 2 laid out, and 2 covering his feet. All right? It's almost liken it to a snake based on the definitions we get with wings, which is crazy. Whatever the case may be, these things, these beings are around the throne of God based on, I guess, right here what we was just reading. Am I right about that? Anybody else get something different?
Verse 3 kind of mentions like revelation and essence.
Yeah, that's where the vision that John got is similar to the same vision of what they looked like and what they was doing, yelling holy, 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 and so on and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and get into give me Psalms 103, brother. Yamayan can't hear today, can't hear tonight, so I'm gonna need you to do a little read, Trooper. All right.
Come on.
19, Psalms 103 and 19. Let's talk about angels real quick since the brother brought it up. Let's go into it a little bit. We taught that angels is what? Little white babies flying around with harps and little naked white babies flying around. That's the angels, right? That's what the angels look like in Puerto Rico, sis. That's what they look like, little naked white babies. They don't have them? Like what they'll show on TV, you see angels. They either one or two things. They either gonna be like your grandma looking down on you from heaven, or they're gonna be little flying white babies. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about with the little flying babies?
So I would think there was a share of them. The little flying white babies.
Oh, you ever seen the angel soft tissue? They got one of them on there, right?
No.
Yeah. Take a look at that when you see it. We can pull it up. It'll show you. That's the vision that they give of angels. And I don't know why the babies got to be naked. Little naked white babies with wings flying around. They ain't nowhere in the Bible.
That's like,
yeah, go ahead.
Because I saw it on TikTok or Instagram. This comedian was like, he been lied to his whole life. He was like, when they describe angels, that it was always white naked babies. He said, but I read the Bible for myself, and he had he described the angels, and they had like a little had like some kind of being with all these eyes and with
Yeah.
wings. And he was like, if I had seen this hovering over me in the middle of the night, God would have my life right now.
Right. So what we've been taught, and you know, that's what we teach here, the truth, and a lot of things that you've been taught about the Bible, about God, about history, a lot of things, none of that is accurate. So we like to dig into the scriptures and talk about what these things are. So we had Psalms 103 and 19. Let's start right there.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms 103, verse 19. The Most High hath prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. Bless the Most High, ye his angels, that excel in strength.
That do what?
That excel in strength.
Oh, so they strong. Go ahead.
That do his commandments.
Nah, that break his commandments and get kicked out of heaven.
That do his commandments.
Okay.
Hearkening unto the voice of his word.
So now, in the short, that word angel, right? That word angel, when I looked it up, meant messenger, right? But it's also talking about beings that were created by the Most High that excel in strength and that do his commandments. This is the key part you want to understand, because we was taught that angels rebelled against God and got kicked out, right? They call them fallen angels. I always thought it was true. I remember before I was in the truth, having this conversation with Captain Kantazai about fallen angels. And he was saying, brother, ain't no fallen angel. I'm like, well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? So this is one of the hard things I had to let go of Christianity, was that there are no fallen angels. Angels do exactly what the Lord says to do. Satan, being one of them, does exactly what the Lord wants him to do. Guess what his job is? Go ahead.
To test man.
To prove to the Most High that you do not deserve the kingdom. To prove to the Most High that you are not righteous. To show the Most High that he should not bless you because you're wicked. That's his job. To test you. To see if you really love God or you love yourself. You really love God or you love your puppy, or you love your children, or you love your wife, or you love your job. Which one? You love your mama or you love the Most High? I love both of them. Which one you love more? When we talking about that, right? When Christ was talking about, I cut a set of men at variances, and those of his own household will be his foes. It ain't that you ain't supposed to love your wife or your kids or your mama. It's that you're supposed to love the Most High more than you love them all. That's how it works. My mama tell me, come over for Christmas dinner or Mother's Day or whatever. She may feel like I hate her if I don't show up. Well, I love the Lord more than I love my mama. I don't literally hate my mama, even if that's how she might feel, because I don't buy nothing for her birthday or Christmas or so. Everybody understand, right? So now let's get back to it. Psalm 103 and 20 says, bless the Most High, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments. Whatever the Lord tells the angels to do, that's what they do. That hearken unto the voice of his word. Keep going.
Bless ye the Most High, all ye his hosts.
His hosts, right? So when they talk about hosts, they talk about our army. All ye that's in his army. Go ahead.
Ye ministers of his that do his pleasure.
That do their own pleasure.
That do his pleasure.
Here's the difference between angel and men and women. Men and women do their own pleasure. I wanted some ice cream. I went and got some ice cream. I wanted this. I went and did it. I wanted to have sex with this person. I wanted to feel like this, so I did this, that, or the other. This was the thing that we have to deal with within this body that we wrapped up in. But the angels don't have flesh. They don't lust after women. Like, you know how I say the sons of God slept with the daughters of man? Now they say that, they talk about when the angels had sex with women. You familiar with that scripture?
Come.
You know it's in the Bible, right?
It's in Genesis.
How does a spiritual being take part in a physical act? It's only one way. Anybody? It's not a trick question. How does a physical being take part in a spiritual being, a spirit, take part in a physical act? Go ahead.
By the man that those spirits in
There it is. By a man or a woman. It gotta have a body in order to do it. If there is a murdering spirit, a lying spirit, it enters into a body and a man murders and a man lies. Just like the spirit of the Most High is the same way within the earth. The Lord ain't just like, he can, but the Lord operates through men within the earth. People think like everything is magic and hocus pocus and abracadabra. That's not how the Bible is. That's why you can ask the question, did Moses part the Red Sea or did the Most High part the Red Sea? BOFUM. Both of them. The Lord did it by way of using Moses. And it's the same way when it gets to Christ. Christ said, I can do nothing of myself. I can't even speak my own words. The words I speak are not my own. The things that I'm doing, he doing the work. My Father's doing the work. I keep bringing that out because it's the same way. Did the Lord redeem his people or did Christ redeem the Lord's people? Both of them. The Lord used Christ to redeem his people. The same way he used Moses to get his people out of Egypt. Everybody following that, right? But the angels were speaking to them the whole time. They was there the whole time. Go ahead and read verse 22.
Bless the Most High, all his works, in all places of his dominion. Bless the Most High, O my soul.
All right, give me Psalms 104 and 1. Let me know when you get there. First thing we did was we just came to the conclusion, or we pulled in the Psalms where it says that the angels do the work of the Most High. They do his pleasure. They hearken to his words and they do his commandments. Go ahead and read. You got it.
Psalm.
This is the next chapter, by the way.
104, verse 1.
Yeah.
Bless the Most High, O my soul.
You said the same thing, right? That's the last thing you just read. Go ahead.
O Most High, my power.
Mm-hmm.
Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty.
Listen, just to cut in real quick, if you ain't on Clubhouse, don't get on it. All right, listen. A brother on Clubhouse told me, this said the Most High wear clothes. Read it again. You like that? Go ahead.
Bless the Most High, O my soul. O Most High, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed.
Thou art what?
Thou art clothed with honor and majesty.
Keep going. I just wanted to bring that out. There's some nuts out here in this world, man. But just keep going.
Who covereth thyself with light as with a garment.
There you go.
Who stretches out the heavens like a curtain.
This is talking about the Most High. Go ahead.
Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters.
Yeah.
Who maketh the clouds his chariot. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
That's right. That right there is a good one. Who layeth the beam of his chambers in the waters. Who maketh the clouds his chariot. Right? This means the ocean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, never mind. I ain't gonna even break that down. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Go ahead to the next verse.
Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. Who laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever. Thou coverest it.
No, that's what I needed right there. Give me verse 4 again.
Psalms 104, verse 4. Who maketh his angels spirits.
Make them what?
Maketh his angels spirits,
Mm-hmm.
his ministers a flaming fire.
A flaming fire. That's how he described the angels, as a flaming fire, right? So now we've established an explanation. Now let me get a couple more from David. We're gonna go into David a little bit. Give me Psalms 91, talking about these angels, what they are. And we done seen them mentioned as a flaming fire. We done seen them mentioned as what was the first one? First one we read. Ministers, army that hearken unto his word and do his pleasure, right? A flaming fire. Let's go to Psalms 91 and see what they're talking about.
Like you didn't say which verse.
You can give me 9.
Psalms 91, verse 9. Because thou hast made the Most High, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
Let's stop right there and make sure we got that. Because you have made the Lord, or the Most High, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your habitation. What does that mean?
Like habitation.
Because thou hast made the Lord, who is my refuge, your habitation.
Like it.
Yeah, go ahead.
If by choosing to make the Most High your dwelling place, by choosing to give the Most High his honor and choosing to trust in him.
How do you make the Most High your dwelling place? What do you mean by that?
In the sense of habitation, choosing to abide in his laws, his statutes, and his commandments.
That's right. Walking in the ways of the Most High, right? Because you have decided to live within the laws, within the things that the Lord said you're supposed to do. Verse 10.
Psalms 91, verse 10. There shall no evil befall thee.
Because you decided to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and trust in the Most High, there shall no evil befall thee. Go ahead.
Neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
Neither shall any plague, pestilence, sickness, pandemic come near your crib. Keep going.
Verse 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee.
What does that mean? Charge nurse. Who's in charge? Go ahead.
The Most High is in charge of the angels, and the angels are.
Read verse 11 again.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee.
What does that mean? Yamayan. Anybody want to answer? If not, I'm giving it to Yamayan. What does it mean to have charge over somebody? Yeah, it don't mean what you think it means. Let me say it like
To
that.
be responsible for?
Yeah, that sounds good. What you think? You rocking with that? To be responsible for? All right. So he will make his angels responsible for you. Keep going.
To keep thee in all thy ways.
So to keep you in whatever you're doing, because you have chosen to make the Most High your habitation and to dwell in his laws, statutes, and commandments, no evil shall befall you. And he will also give his angels responsibility over you to watch over you in all your ways. Keep going.
They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet.
The brother officer Tawashab, one of the worst roads in America, I-4, in traffic. Somebody right there ran right in the slap in the back of him. right? Nothing wrong with his car. They car totaled. Nothing happened. He can't pick us up. We go to camp in the car. Nothing happened. I flipped my car over a couple of years ago. Went to camp the next day. State trooper told me normally when a person flip a car over like that, they have to come get the heat machine to find the body. I jumped out of there yelling, Most High Christ, running. You hear what I'm telling you? It ain't, okay, here's what I'm saying. It ain't like nothing can't happen to you, right? But the Lord is really saving your life. Really. He gave these angels charge over you. Now, you can believe it or not. I'm just telling you what the Bible say. Give me Psalms 34 real quick. We'll get one more. 34 and see if we want to start at 6. Give me verse 7.
Psalms chapter 34, verse 7. The angel of the Most High encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
The angel of the Most High encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Delivereth them for what? Go ahead.
Stay with David, deliver them from evil.
Yeah. Things that are coming to pursue them. It was talking about pestilence coming to your household. It's talking about your enemies. It's talking about lions. All of this stuff, right? I did the scenarios I gave just because that's what we doing right now. We driving, we flying. You know what I'm saying? We in these streets, right? All right. So the angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear the Lord. Now you see these angels got responsibilities. They getting orders. They got duty. It's their job to watch over people of God. You can go ahead and read that next one just because we're here.
Oh, taste and see that the Most High is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him.
All right. Better believe it. Let me see. Let's pray. Oh, young man, so praise. All right. Give me 2 Kings chapter 6. Let's go into it real quick. Probably gonna have to do a part. I was supposed to do a part 2 the last week too, wasn't I? What was that? Who was Christ? 2 Kings.
Christ, a man of God.
Oh, okay, yeah. We get back to it. 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse. All right, so the Syrians going to war, and the Lord got Elisha the prophet. Read verse 12 real quick.
2 Kings chapter 6, verse 12. And one of his servants said, None, my Adawan, O king.
Just read it as you see it.
And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king. But Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. Continue on.
Yep.
And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan.
So what you got here is Elisha the prophet, right? And he's speaking to the king, is the king of Israel. They're at war with the Syrians. He telling him to go send some spies, tell him where I'm at, or tell me where he at, so we can send somebody to go take care of him. Go ahead to verse 14.
Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
Right? So now they wake up, they got the city surrounded. The enemy got the city surrounded. They don't know what they're going to do. Keep reading.
And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Keep going.
And Elisha prayed and said, Most High, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Most High opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Chariots of what?
Chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Remember what it said in the Psalms, right? So he wondering how they going to win. They surrounded by the enemy. And he's saying, don't worry about it, because they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed to the Most High that the Most High could open his eyes so he could see what Elisha saw. And the Lord opened the young man's eyes, and he saw, behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Go ahead.
And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Most High and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha.
So the Lord did what Elisha asked. He prayed that he would make them blind. So even though they had compassed the city, the angels was doing exactly what they said they would do in Psalms. The men of the Lord who served God had angels encamped around them. Even when they was to be defeated, they still could come away. He made the enemy blind. These angels went and did the job of making the enemies of the Most High blind. And Elisha said unto them, this is not the way, neither is the city. Salakia. Where we at? We at verse 18?
Hi, I'm Salakia.
Go ahead.
If I may, just going from 17 to 18, how you was just saying, how angels actually obey commandments. And Elisha prayed to the Most High that on one end, the young man could be able to see the heavenly hosts that was about around them. And then how Elisha also prayed that those on the earth, the enemies, the Armenians, couldn't even be able to see earthly reality.
Yeah.
Obeying order.
Yeah. That's the point I was bringing it out. Let me get a little bit more into that so we can make it a little bit more clear. All right. Give me Acts chapter 5, verse 12. Show you something real quick. Acts chapter 5, verse 12.
Acts chapter 5, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And by the hands of the apostles were many signs and wonders wrought among the people. And they were all with one accord in Solomon's porch. And of the rest, there is no man joined himself to them, but the people magnified them. And believers were the more added to the Lord, multitudes both of man and woman, insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow some of them.
They were just hoping the brother just passed by there. The man of the Most High walked by and it can heal people. Go ahead to verse 16.
There came also a multitude out of the cities round about unto Jerusalem, bringing sick folks, and them which were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed, every one.
They were healed, what?
Every one.
So these things was happening. The Lord, the angels of the Lord are doing the work of the Lord to help the men of the Lord do the job that we have in this earth. All right? Their job is to do what the Lord wants done from a spiritual realm, but they interact with man. Sometimes you'll hear where it say the Lord was talking to somebody, but then you'll see in the scripture where it say no man has seen God. It talk about the burning bush. It'll say an angel of the Lord was talking to him, and one it'll say the Lord was talking to him. It's no different than when it says the men of Nineveh believed Jonah. No, it says the men of Nineveh believed the Lord, but the Lord didn't say nothing to him. Jonah did. The Most High does things within this earth through two ways: through spirits, which are the angels, and through the men and women of God that he works through. He ain't got to come off his throne and do nothing. In Genesis, he said, let there be light, and there was light. He ain't do it. He gives the order, and it gets done. How Captain Shawul will break it down to me is just like the Trump Towers got Trump name on it. He ain't laid one brick on them, one of them. He gave the order. They went and found bin Laden in a cave. Barack Obama gets the credit. He ain't jumped in no helicopter. He ain't went out there in the desert, and he ain't found bin Laden. Y'all understand, right? The Lord gives the order. The angels do his will, and the men of God and women of God do the same thing. The men of God do the same thing. Go ahead.
Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the set of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation.
Oh, no, go give me, we could drop that. Give me, Hebrews 1:7 real quick. Now, the Lord don't just got them doing good things within the earth. Let's get that straight. So I'll say, like, if I was talking to my mama, everything good happened, that was the Lord. Everything bad happened, that ain't nothing but the devil, right? That was the devil. The devil did this. The devil did that. Well, here's the part that you don't know. The Lord has angels that were created to encamp around his saints, to help the men of God do what they're supposed to do. Then he had angels like Satan that do those things that are adverse to those things that you would like. I don't know if this is scripture that go into it. Go ahead and read it. Let me know where you at.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And of the angels, he said, Salaki Adawan, would you like me to go back a couple of verses? Because it mentions angels and things before that.
Nah, it probably mentioned it all through there. Unless you think it needs to for context. Read it where from where you at. And if we need context, we'll go back.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse 7. And of the angels, he said, who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers a flame of fire.
You see that? It's just like it was talking about in the Psalms, right? They ministering spirits and a flame of fire. They always seeing this fire when they talking about these angels. They never seeing little naked white babies, though. Keep throwing that back out there. Any more to that? Give me verse 14.
Come on. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation?
You see that? Read that again. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister to them that will inherit salvation. Is that what it says?
Kind of,
I ain't looking at it. I'm just
Uh-huh.
repeating back to you what I heard.
kind of,
Okay. So these spirits actually give the words of the Most High to them who the Lord wants to get it in order for him to save them. That's something else that these spirits do. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 28. The Lord had created these spirits to do his will within the earth. All right? Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. Try to finish this up just in case I'm stopping the brother from jumping on, all right? He ain't saying that to you, right? Quickly,
Salaki, 38, 29.
39 and 28.
Kind of. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 39, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
So we in Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Some people call it Sirach. It was written by Sirach, right? That's what it say. Ecclesiasticus. I don't know why people call it Sirach, like the blue dot. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. Remember, we was talking about all these spirits that was created to watch over the Lord's people, to protect the Lord's people, to guide them, and to make his armies win and do all these great things. But there are also spirits that were created for vengeance, which in their fury, they lay on sore strokes. Their job is not to do nothing special and great and wonderful. Their job is destruction. They pour on their force to appease the wrath of them that made them. So whose wrath are they appeasing? Them that made them. Who made these spirits? The Most High made these spirits, and he wants them to do wrath within the earth. Go to verse 29.
Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
All these were created for vengeance. So you got fire, hail, death, famine. These things happen in the earth. People blame them on the devil, but it really be the Lord doing this. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Christians be like, what kind of God would create famine?
Right. Yeah, but at the same time, he's also the same God that created Pharaoh, raised him up just so he could destroy him and show his might within the earth.
What, you want me to keep
reading? Keep going on.
Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked.
So the Lord put certain these things in there, and he put the spirit of these angels on these particular animals to do his will within the earth, just like he would do hail, famine, death, so on and so forth. Go ahead to verse 31.
They shall rejoice in his commandments.
They shall do what?
They shall rejoice in his commandments.
It sounds like these evil, I'm using that word on purpose, evil spirits within the earth. Do it sound like they going against what the Lord telling them to do? Or they should be kicked out of heaven? Or they rebelling against the Lord? Read that again, verse 31.
They shall rejoice in his commandment.
They rejoice in the Lord's commandment. They rejoice to do those things that the Lord says to do, to create famine and death and vengeance and hail and beasts and scorpions and all these things that are adverse to us. The Lord have created him to do his will within the earth. They shall rejoice in his commandments. Go ahead.
And they shall be ready upon earth when need is.
When the Lord need them, he calls for them spirits, and he'll put them on whatever. He'll put it on your house, and it'll fall on your head while you sleep. He'll put it on your car, and it won't turn when you tell it to turn. The Lord have created these angels to do work within the earth. And if you're living right and you're doing the Lord's will, then most of the time these angels are for you and they will protect you and encamp around you. When you're not, the vengeance of the Lord, he'll use these same angels to do that. More to it? Go ahead.
And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
They shall what?
They shall not transgress his word.
Y'all see that, right? It ain't talking about no angels doing nothing against the Most High. It's talking about them doing exactly what the Lord sent them to do. Give me Psalm 78. Let's go back to Psalms. Psalm 78, give me verse 46. Yeah.
Psalm chapter 78.
This is a example of this right here. Go ahead.
Verse 46. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar.
What? The Lord gave these, they done farmed all year, Yamayan. The Lord gave it to the caterpillars. The increase they got of their crops, he gave to the caterpillars. Go ahead.
And their labor unto the locusts.
And the locusts. Go ahead.
He destroyed their vines with hail,
Mm-hmm.
and their sycamore trees with frost.
So all that work you're doing, remember what it said. It's not to him that willeth nor him that runneth, but the Most High. The Most High giving you mercy is whether or not things going to go good or bad for you. You could do everything right. And if the Lord ain't with you, he will send angels to get on them caterpillars and tell them to come eat your flock, eat your food. Locusts. He would destroy the vines that you have with hail and the trees with frost. I remember one year in Florida, it froze colder than it was for about, I think it was about a month, about 3 weeks straight. And they said they lost billions of dollars in strawberries. First thing came to my head, like, damn, I didn't know it was $1 billion worth of strawberries. Like, how the hell is that? Do you know the white man is the devil? It's $1 billion in strawberries? And people still hungry. That's crazy. Y'all know in our laws it say that you leave like if you got crops, you leave the outside for the poor people to come and get some. I bet you better not go out there and try to pick none of them strawberries. and see if the Lord with you did. Right? Right now he's talking about destroying their trees with frost and their vines with hail. Go ahead to verse 48.
He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger.
So the Lord was pissed with them, and he's sending all these things when they're just like it said in Ecclesiasticus. This is what's happening in the Psalms. Go ahead.
Wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them.
Who sent evil angels? These angels are evil. Who sent these evil angels? Are they fighting against the Lord? Are they going against what he said? Go ahead.
The Most High sent these angels as basically a representation of his anger.
A fierceness of his anger. He sent them within the earth to do his will. How you think a person that you smarter than, stronger than, and everything gets rule over you for 400-500 years? These evil angels are helping to keep it that way until the Lord's anger is done dealing with you. Y'all understand, right? Go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 50.
Did y'all know it was evil angels in the Bible? Right? Did y'all know that was there? Yeah, these angels are evil, and they sit by the Most High. That's crazy. They ain't fighting against him. Go ahead, keep going.
He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt.
So he did the same thing, you know what I'm saying, in Egypt. When he smoked their firstborn and all of these caterpillars and things, this is what it was talking about. Go ahead.
The chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham.
All right, so let me get one more, and then I'm gonna cut it. I'll make sure that I ain't overstepping on the brother. Give me Romans chapter 13, verse 1 real quick. So these angels can encamp around you, they can protect you. The Lord can give them the responsibility of watching over you, or he can send them to come and take you up out of here. They're not fighting against the Most High. We the only ones stupid enough to fight against the Lord, to go against what the Lord's will is. The angels know better. They know better. So when it's talking about, just for the sake of time, when it's talking about why thou fallen, O Lucifer, right? It's talking about a man. If you read up, it'll talk about the king of, I think it's Tyre, right? King of Tyre, and it's talking about him. But they say is that's the devil being kicked out of heaven. In Revelations, it'll talk about the devil being kicked out of heaven and his angels with him. That is talking about, when we say the white man is the devil, the Bible speak of, that is talking about your oppressor being kicked out of his heaven, which he's in right now, and it being given to the children of the Lord. So he's going from being the rulers to being in a hell-like situation where he's being ruled over. All right, so those two things, let me throw that out there just in case somebody had that question about if the angels didn't get kicked out, where does that come from? It comes from those two scriptures that's in the Bible, where it talks about them. But if you read it in context, which nobody does, instead of just picking up one scripture, it'll tell you who it's talking about right there in the chapter. All right, everybody understand, right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Now, small g, right? What they call it? Elohim, right? Rulers, judges, gods, ministers, so on and so forth, right? Small g, not the Most High, God. You see that in the Hebrew, it's talking about, they would call it Elohim. They would call it Elohim in modern day Hebrew. So when it says God, let us make man in our own image. The reason it says us there is because that was the Most High giving the order, his word, right? Which was later made flesh. Wasn't Yahushua then, but later made flesh and became Yahushua. But his word is giving the order to the angels doing the work. It's kind of weird when you think about why people ask these questions. They don't understand that in the Bible, the Lord has everybody doing his work for him. Everybody does his work for him, and nothing that happens in the earth is against his will. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow if you lose somebody close to you and that you know that it was the Lord's will. You know what? His thoughts ain't like our thoughts. You understand? If it was up to me, I have my brothers here. Hell, Butter will be right here with us in the truth. You understand? My daughter will be here. The Lord has his own will, and it ain't always lining up with what we want. That's why being the truth consists of denying what we want. Remember, Christ ain't want to go and die, but he said, nevertheless, not my will, but yours. We talking about losing other people. Christ lost, the Lord took his life, and he didn't even do nothing. That's crazy for what we did. Now you think I'm going to go back out and sin again when the Lord done put what was supposed to happen to me on him? That's the purpose of the new covenant, that we will remember what Christ did for us and never sin again. Right here is talking about powers, rulers, judges. Let every soul be subject to higher powers. Keep going.
For there is no power but of God.
Everything that happens,
The powers
It's
that
a hard thing for me to wrap my mind around that the Lord allowed us to be ruled by Donald Trump. Golly, that's hardcore. We must have pissed him off for good, for real. We really did it. He gave us Joe Biden. We really did it. Please change your life. Get these people from up over us. There is no power but the Most High. Ain't nothing gonna be unless He allow it to happen. Go ahead.
the powers that be are ordained of God.
That's what I just said. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
Mm-hmm.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
I dare you. I mean, go ahead. You see people talking about they gonna shoot at the police and do all this other stuff. Even if they dead wrong, you let the Lord deal with them. He got angels around you if you serving Him. All this stuff that's going on in the earth, if you serving the Most High, He'll protect you. But don't take it upon yourself to go against those people who He have put in power, because we're serving a punishment for disobeying Him right this minute. The only thing we can do is change our lives and hope that the Lord will have enough mercy on us to get these people from up over us and give us some righteous rulership. Give us some men of the Lord that's going to show us how to rule over this earth and never be slaves again, and never have to serve other nations again. Whosoever resisteth power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. Keep going.
For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil.
Right.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
Just do the right thing, and the Lord will send these angels to watch over you. You do the wrong thing, the Lord will send these angels, these evil angels among you. That's what this class is about. The Lord has spirits within this earth doing His will. Do the right thing, and the Lord will send them. You could be in the midst of a nigger killing cop, and He will make your enemies your footstool. Y'all understand what I'm saying? He might not deal with you. You might not have to suffer the way our brother George Floyd had to, because you serving the Lord, and the angels lift that devil's knee up off your neck, because nobody else ain't brave enough to do it. Keep going.
For He is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for He beareth not the sword in vain.
So the Lord blessed Esau with the sword. That was one of the blessings Esau got. And the Lord has been using him as a whipping stick for His disobedient children to try to get them together. See, when people hear us talking about white people, they think we blaming it on them. We know, because it says in the scriptures, they hold themselves not guilty because they know that we sinned against our God. They also know the scripture where it said, if you will do what I told you to do, I will set thee on high above all nations upon the face of the earth. The Lord just waiting on us. He's merciful and waiting on us to get our lives together so that we can be His people and He can be our God again. But in the meantime, He done put a spirit of the angels, the spirit of the angels within these devils to do what they doing, and hope that we'll see this thing and say, man, we need the Lord on our side. Keep going.
For He is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
There you go. That's talking about what I was talking about earlier. The angels are there for you to protect you from evil when you are serving God, but when you are not, they are there for His wrath. All right? Read that last verse, and then we'll close it up.
Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake.
All right? Anybody got any questions on what we went over? The angels of the Lord ain't fighting against God. Nobody is powerful enough to be in no war against the Most High. It don't happen. They are His creation. How can your creation, it's like your mama saying to you, I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. You think the devil can fight with God and still survive? It don't work like that. The devil cannot fight against God. Nobody can fight against God. The Lord destroys whatever he does not want in the blink of an eye. In the blink of it, ain't no war going on again. Now, there is a war going on between good and evil within this earth, and that's the Lord fighting for his people, and his people fighting for their lusts, their desires, and what they love within this earth. This is the reason why General Yohanna said in these times where it's going to be war, rumors of war, famine, all of these things that the Lord said that he was going to happen in this time, your thing that's going to get you through is your morality. Make sure you are on one accord with what the Lord wants, so he'll send those angels to protect you while he's sending those angels to destroy the rest of everybody else on this earth. All right? Everybody understand?
Okay.
All right, and with that, I say shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Katam. Yahweh Shema L'Tham B'Shem Yahshua.